Now, there seems to be major damage due to rainfall in the storms here. Right behind me, you can see there is a tree down. Now, this tree is hanging on power lines. Every day, pedestrians walk these streets, and every day their lives are at risk, even when they press this button. Multiple residents in this neighborhood right here off Chadwick Circle in North Macon have been hit by car break-ins. Now open. This accident happened on I-16 westbound, like you said. It was near mile marker 22. A home has burned for the second time. Now, if you look right behind me, you can see that this home is 7 years. That's how long it will take to complete construction here on I-75 South. Now, that's when they got together. They purchased this U-Haul, and they took donations all day long. Prayer vigil will take place at 6:30 p.m. this evening right here at the Rosa Parks Square. Additional day of voting will be held right behind these doors on Sunday, October 28th. They tell me once they arrived to the scene, they found a 24-year-old male. Flooding is pretty bad. Right here, this is about 1 foot of flooding that I'm standing in. And if you look right behind me, this is about 2 feet of flooding. The museum opened its doors behind me just 4 years ago, and inside there's 49,000 square feet of history. Good evening, and thanks for watching WGXA News at 10. I'm Jayla Whitfield. Voices on Capitol Hill warn it could complicate the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court nominee accused of sexual assault. Similar developments in Washington, D.C. today as Judge Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed to the Supreme Court in one of the most controversial votes seen in years. Start off with some breaking news tonight. John McCain has died at the age of 81. He was a prisoner of war, naval bomber pilot. We'll take a look at this photo. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help to identify the suspect involved in an armed robbery. People lost their lives in a multi-vehicle crash today. Now, New York State Police say a limousine struck pedestrians and collided with a parked car. Investigators in Selma, Alabama say an officer was shot twice in the chest with a rifle during an ambush while on patrol this morning. Protesters from all over the country are protesting the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court. Take a look in Washington, D.C., in Atlanta, and outside of the Supreme Court. Multiple tornado warnings were issued for the area today, and this footage is from the first tornado that touched down. Less than a week after a Pike County football player died, his team was back on the field last night. The Pike County High School team had their first game since Dylan Thomas's death. Well, turning to weather, meteorologist Matt Mackey is in the WGXA Weather Center. Matt, it's been hot out there. Is that going to continue for the week ahead? Bill Cosby will be back in Norristown, Pennsylvania court tomorrow for sentencing on his conviction of sexual assault. Cosby faces up to 10 years in prison for each of the 3 counts against him. Realize that these deaths are more than just numbers. These are brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, grandmothers, and grandsons. These are people, our people.
21-year-old Deja Jordan.
18-year-old Sandrika Adams.
57-year-old Ellen Runette Sandifer.
1-year-old Deontay Pounds.
38-year-old Tavares Lester.
18-year-old Deshaun Maxwell.
10-year-old Leonard Spivey Jr.
9-year-old Freddie Bernard Slocum Jr.
Names you just heard reflect the 30 lives lost to homicide in Macon in 2018. The 30th homicide happened today when Freddie Slocum Jr. was killed.
Lovable young man, and it's just kind of hard to fathom, someone taking his life like this.
Tonight, local officials came together to motivate change in the community.
30 deaths. People don't realize death is final.
Owner of Macon Black Pages, Alex Habersham, says everyone needs to be involved.
Village. It takes a village. And then we got to do it from the bottom up. I don't care how many of us sit at this table and say what needs to be done, but we got to involve everybody.
Slocum's family agrees.
Place I grew up, and I can't believe it has gotten to this point. It is saddening. It's despicable.
She made soul music. She was the queen of soul, and without her soul, there would never been no soul music.
Newton Collier is referring to the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin. Collier is a previous Stax employee, the same Stax where Aretha recorded her famous hit, Respect. What was it like watching her perform?
Woo! Magic. We did our show, and then she took over the show. Let's put it that way.
Making Music Ambassador Joey Stuckey believes we have lost one of the greatest.
In my mind, sort of her passing is the end of an era. And it's the end of, basically what I would call, one of the last great divas.
Aretha made an impact all around the world, especially in Middle Georgia.
The 3 M's of music: Macon, Memphis, Muscle Shoals. Those are the 3 M's. Those are the most powerful parts of the South when it comes to soul music.
She sang, and how she sang, I think, connects with people here in a way that in some other music cities that have a different sort of background, it may not. But here, where we're so cognizant of soul music, and we have the history of Otis Redding, we have the history of Little Richard, I mean, we get it.
Many Middle Georgians remember Aretha's legacy after she passed away today because
there's no one like it. I mean, she's truly, I think we use this word probably too much, but she really is unique.
Former President Barack Obama tweeted, "Aretha helped define the American experience. In her voice, we could feel our history, all of it, in every shade."
I'm a firm believer that music is this otherworldly power. I think it's an incredible force for healing and positivity and uniting people. And I really think she was a real vessel for that. And
although Aretha is gone, her legacy will live on forever.
A legacy of singers that are in her line. Nobody's going to be Aretha, but they'll try to get there some kind of way in their own time.